What's up, ladies and gentlemen and ladies? Welcome to my channel. My name is Dapo Ibrahim, and if you're new here, welcome. If you are new, trust me, I love you from the depth of my heart, and I just want to bid you welcome to my channel. And I guarantee you, this is the best channel where you will learn about leadership, communication, and networking. Um, and if you are a returning viewer or subscriber, I just want to thank you again for coming back on my channel because that really matters to me. It matters to me that you guys are coming back and you are consuming my content, and we have this connection, this community, this rapport thing that we are building. But I really appreciate every single one of you. And once again, if you're new, please click the subscribe button. It's going to help me a long way. And also click the bell button. That way, whenever I have a new video or new content, you will be the very first person to see that. Today, we have a question that I would like us to treat. And it's a question that a lot of people have been asking me about. It's a question a lot of people have been asking me about, and it's a question on what are the questions that you ask your partner, the thought provoking questions that you ask your partner in a relationship, in order to know how deep this relationship is, in order to understand if this relationship has a future, to make sure you both partners are not wasting each other's time. So there are several questions that we will be taking a look at. But if you are joining and you want to be a part of this, if you have anything or any question that you think could be thought provoking, especially towards for people in relationship, click a comment, type a comment below what that question would be, and then I'll be sharing the questions that I have written down with every single one of us. Um, so yeah. Also, if you are joining me, comment your name, give me a thumbs up, let me know exactly where you are commenting from, what part of the world. I love knowing where you guys are from. I appreciate that. So let me know, okay? Oh, by the way, how's your weekends going? Let me see something. I hope everyone's weekend is going good. All right. I'm trying to make sure I'm as audible as possible. So if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. If you can't, comment below. I believe it's audible because I did an audio check. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I have the right perfect audio. Yeah, I can hear that. I think I can see the sound waves. Okay. Okay. All right. Like I said, how's everyone doing? How are your weekends going? This channel yesterday I made a post on this channel, and I decided to take a poll on if on what kind of content you would like to see on this channel. And if you have a specific content that you would like to see, let me know. If you have a question that you would like to ask me, let me know. And also, if there's something that you want me to just elaborate on, you can always let me know. My email will be somewhere in the description section, or if you look into my previous content, you will find my email there. Oh, by the way, if you go on my Teespring store as well, I have merchandise for sale. I have the Ignite Africa merchandise. Ignite Africa is a is a 501c non-profit organization that I started. And the mission of the nonprofit is to provide support for internally displaced people in developing countries. If you look at everything happening in the world today, you would realize that there's so many things going on, and people are losing their homes, people are losing their jobs, people are losing so many things. So the focus of my nonprofit is to help get these people back into homes that can where they can become more sustainable, and they will be um re reimputed or reinstated back into society, with adequate job security, food security, and also educational security. So that's what my nonprofit does. There's also a link below if you find it generous in your heart, you can also donate some amount of money to the nonprofit organization. It would really go a long way, towards helping people get education, get job, and also, provide homes for them. Um, and also the profit from this merchandise, the profit from it all goes towards a non-profit cause. So whatever you do in support of this channel, be it just watching the video, be it patronizing the online store, be it sharing my content, everything is actually going towards a non-profit cause. And I sincerely appreciate every single one of you that has been in full support of this channel. Um, if you're watching this, click the like button. I'd like to know where you're watching from. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, I think it's a go. So yeah, we are a go. Video is good. Audio is good. So what are the thought-provoking questions that you think will be asked in relationship? I'd like to hear from you guys. Yeah, yeah. Let me hear from you guys. One of the very reason why I decided to make this video is because if you look into relationship these days, it's not something short to say that relationship these days no longer have meaning, because no one wants to no one wants to lose, right? No one wants to be the foolish one in the relationship. Everyone comes into relationship with the goal of looking out for themselves. No one comes into relationship to say, you know what, I'm in this relationship and I'm here to take care of this person. You understand? It's like this. Everyone has the selfish interest, the selfish ulterior motive, and they disguise it as self love. So to me, self love is good, but if you are in a relationship, when two of you come together, you become one, right? So you are your partner is you. So when you say self love, it needs to involve your partner, one way or the other, right? Because you two are one body. So for me, every time people use the word self love, I sense some sort of selfish ulterior motive. You know, I sense the selfish ulterior motive, and I see a lot of people, say things like they want to protect themselves from their partner, just in case their partner doesn't turn out to be who they're expecting them to be. So for me, in order to in order to avoid all these things, all these uncertainties, all these insecurity, it's better you schedule a moment and ask this thought provoking questions, because the more you ask this question, the more your partner opens up to you, and the more you get to know them, the more you know what's inside them. It's not rocket science, it's just finding the time. And if you and this is when I say finding the time, I'm not saying something you do in like half an hour, or like something you do over you don't have this kind of conversation over the phone. You don't ever have this kind of conversation over the phone. You schedule the moment. It might even involve you or your partner taking a day off, and you sit down and you talk every single thing out. All right? You talk out the details of both of your relationship. It's very important. Um and you need to inform your partner that you want to sit down and have this talk. And right from there, if your partner thinks, okay, yeah, we need to have this conversation, then you know, okay, one, they're serious. Two, they want the thing to grow just as much as you want it to grow. And three, they respect you, right? They respect you, and that is why they decide to have this conversation with you. But if you initiate the big talk in relationship, and your partner keeps, um dodging you, or they keep trying to show you off and just not have this conversation, then you need to understand that it's like they are just wasting your time and they are not really interested in you. And that happens. And it's not a bad thing, it's not an evil thing. I mean, the only thing that I think will be bad about it would be that if they don't like you, they should let you know so you can move on, instead of keeping you. But there's so many people that enjoy just having people around, just for self validation, sort of, instead of just letting them know you don't like them and just let them move on. Some people will, especially the young women, the young low quality, so to say, women, um even young low quality men as well. If you don't like someone, or if you like them but you don't see a prosperous or a potential future with them, then you should communicate it and just say, you know what, our goals are not in alignment, so I think you should we should split. Trust me, it will be very painful at that moment, but in the future it will be the best move for either of you two. And that is when two people are actually looking out, for each other. So it's one of you needs to initiate the conversation, the the big talk, and the other person in the relationship, if they care about the relationship, they too should have been noticing things. And the moment one person initiates the big talk, even if they don't have time at that moment, they should be willing to schedule a time. Because even if it's not something that's bothering them, they should understand that there's something bothering you. And if they care about you, they will create the time. Once again, this is not something you have over the phone. This is not the type of conversation you have over the phone. This is the kind of conversation that you sit down and you have it one on one, in person, you know, watching the person, observing each other, looking for, getting organic, genuine response. Um, you don't base this off, because I, for example, I don't I don't like having phone conversations. I mean, if it's a call, yeah, I could do call, Because yeah, you can't be with the person all the time. But when it comes to text messages, I don't do it because texts can be easily misinterpreted, you know, um, easily. Um, I mean, there's this joke that women, especially when a girl tells you that, yeah, she only wants to text, that she's probably talking to multiple guys, and then it's easier to text six guys than for you to talk on the phone with six guys. So I don't know how realistic that is, but if you think that is not realistic, you could comment below. Let me know if you think that's not true. But if you think it's true, well, also comment below. Give this video a like. Um, yeah, let me know what you think. All right. Let me know what you think. So yeah, give when you initiate the big talk, it should be a mutual thing. It should be that once you initiate it, if your partner cares about you, they are willing to hear you out, right? And then what are the kind of questions that you ask? Because like I said, these questions are not like, do you like bread? You're not having that kind of conversation. You're not having the bread and butter conversation. You're having the serious conversation. And when you're having a serious conversation, you come up with serious talks, but you don't just jump into it. You try and open them up gradually. So, what are the type of questions that you ask? In this situation, what are the type of questions that you ask in this situation? So, yeah, if you are joining us, once again, thank you very much for joining this channel. My name is Dapo Ibrahim. Appreciate you coming on this channel. Always, love and respect. Um, if you're a new watcher, please subscribe to this channel. I have so many content ideas. And also, I would like to talk about my upcoming film. I have a film that's coming up very soon. It's titled The Called. I've been posting about it, all year round. I've been posting about it. Um, I have a I have a trailer, a video trailer. If you watch like 4 videos away from my most recent video, you will find the official trailer, and I will be releasing it um this weekend. This weekend, I'll be releasing it this weekend. So yeah, stay tuned. I also have an official Instagram account for it where you can ask me questions or ask anyone any question regarding the short film. The official Instagram is at the called film. Let me see if I can show you guys. At the called film. Oh, did you all see the fight yesterday between Connor and Dustin Poirier? That was a wonderful one, right? Okay, so this is the official Instagram right there at the called film. You see that? Yeah, at the called film, and you can follow it and ask questions. Um, that's it right there. That's the trailer right there. Oh, by the way, you all see this video. So you see that, and that's the soundtrack for the call film. Yeah, you just go look at the channel. That's a film poster. Um, oh yeah, that's our actor. While I said he was hibernating. But yeah, follow this account on Instagram, the call film. You will see all the information about the film. And also, this is my personal Instagram, Adapo Ibrahim TV, right here. Uh, it's not clear enough. Yes. Okay, so Adapo Ibrahim TV. So check me out on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at that boy Ibrahim TV. I love hearing from people. I love hearing from you guys. I love you guys um commenting. Um, ask questions, do a lot of things. Let us connect, let us engage. All right. So yeah, subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Instagram. And yeah. So the question once again is, oh, I'm dropping my phone. Let me get my phone back. So what are some thought provoking questions that you ask your partner in a relationship? Yep. What are some thought provoking questions that you ask your partners in your relationship? I'd like to know. I have a full list here that I'd like to share with you guys, but I'd like to hear from you guys. I'd really love to hear from you guys. So what are some questions that you ask your partner? All right. All right. So the first question so the first question that I have here is, how does your life compare to how you imagine it growing up? And this is a question that would require your partner to think deep. Because remember, the reason why you're having this thought-provoking question moment is because you want to know your partner. You know them already, but you want to know what's inside them. You want to know what makes them tick. You want to know their real emotions. You want to know about their pain, their joy, their hope, their despair. You want to know everything about their thoughts on life, their thoughts on death, their thoughts on marriage, their thoughts if they're growing. You want to know exactly what's going on, because there's so many people have deep thoughts that they don't share with people. Um, I as a guy sometimes I have very deep thoughts, but I don't really have problem communicating those deep thoughts. I've learned a lot about communication over time, but I've come to realize that women also have deep thoughts. And for a woman to share her deep thoughts with you, you need to have become someone that she trusts. If a woman doesn't trust you, she ain't saying nothing to you. All right. If a woman doesn't have, a fiber of trust in you, she won't even talk to you. Like women are very ruthless when it comes to guys they like and guys they don't like. If a woman doesn't find you attractive or doesn't find you reliable or doesn't find you trustworthy, she's not even going to talk to you. That's just the way women are wired. Women treasure safety, and one of the things that I always shared with my friends, you need to be able to communicate safety, first and first. Not just women, but most especially to women. When you meet someone new, you need to be able to communicate safety, and you don't communicate safety verbally. You communicate safety through your body language. Now, that's a question. How do you communicate safety using body language? That's another video on its own. But yes, um, the goal of this is to get your partner to open up more to you, especially because people have this emotional roller coaster. If you're going deep with someone, especially if it's someone that you see as a potential wife, potential husband, or something like that, you don't know how deep this relationship would go. So people have this emotional moment. Um, especially, you know, guys and girls, we all have this moment. For example, if you're about to get married to someone, you know that you probably have other options and you're going for this option and you don't know if this is the best option. So you're having this moment like, should you go for the next person? Should you go for the next person? Should you go for the next person? Should you stay with this person? Should you? And it's just, it happens. It happens. Guys, girls, especially women, because women always, um, if you, especially if you're dating a beautiful woman, for example, even if it's an average looking woman, you should know that you're not the only guy that talks to her. That's the first thing. You're not the only guy on her list. That's another thing. Now if she's been with you and you are acting funny, she will keep, questioning herself if this is the right choice or if maybe there's not a choice out there. So there's so many things involved that you want to put into consideration, especially when you're having this big conversation with your partner. So um, you need to understand the goal of the conversation and then remember the first question, which is, um, how does your life compare to how you imagine it growing up? You know, that way you are getting them to think about the past, you're getting them to think about the present. And that's a very powerful thing because now you put in emotions inside them. And if you are talking to someone that had some childhood trauma, you would see it right then and there because it will come out, male or female, because now you're getting them to go through this time travel, which is very powerful. Um, Sometimes they will reveal it to you, sometimes you will observe it. Whichever the case is, once you know this, then you need to, even though you've known them for a while, you need to be able to let them understand that, you know what, you can trust me. And the more you can communicate that you can trust me, the more they open up to you. All right. Um, Another question you could ask is, what was the bigger lesson from your worst breakup? Now you're trying to see if they learned something, because a lot of people, for example, a lot of people um don't. It's not like they don't learn, but if you don't have, like, for example, if you don't have the growth mindset, every time you go through a breakup, you would always say it's the fault of the other person. Do you understand? You would always say it's the fault of the other person. But the moment you switch into the so-called growth mindset, you become um you become more reasonable. You become more responsible. You become more accountable. You now you self introspect. You inspect your inside, and then you're like, okay, no, it wasn't just all this person's fault, but I also contributed to the last breakup. So when you ask this question, what was the biggest lesson from your worst breakup, you want to figure out if they're at some point where they are now owning up to responsibility, to their own part of what caused the breakup. Because breaking up is not always just one person. It can't just be like 100% this person's reason for breaking up. Something always happens. This person does something, this person does something, this person, even though the guy did something horrible, like bad, like cheated, right? There must be a reason why the person cheated. Maybe they were insecure, or maybe they were uncertain, maybe there was no communication. There is always something that led to something. And that is why you want to ask this kind of question, because now you are going with this person, you're going to the future. You want to know what you're going into. And this is one of the biggest mistakes most guys make in relationship, for example, because if you look at it, when a woman, whenever a woman meets a guy, they scrutinize this guy. They scrutinize this guy. They scrutinize him so much. They should test you, so to say. They put you through so many things before they finally say, deep in their mind, okay, this is the guy for me. A woman wouldn't just meet you and then just say, yeah, I want to have your baby. No, they don't do that. Maybe you, unless maybe you're like the son of like the wealthiest man or something like that. Maybe you're the wealthiest man in the world. I don't know. But yeah, even if you're the wealthiest man in the world, if you approach a woman, they just wouldn't let you just bang them and put your stuff inside them and then they become pregnant because women are always very careful about who they allow into them. If a woman allows you inside her, then she has a level of trust in you. She has a level of trust in you because, for example, if you have sex with a woman as a guy, you would just have sex and you're done, right? Nothing happens to you that much. Most especially what men go through is like the psychological change and mental change, whatever. But if a woman receives you inside her body and she becomes pregnant, so many things happen. Her body changes, her weight changes, her look changes, her whole life changes. And that is why women are very, very careful and highly scrutinizing about whom they allow inside their body. So if a woman allows you in, she has a level of trust in you. All right. So yeah, just keep that in mind that you are asking these questions to build trust, to understand accountability, to understand that your partner that you're about to spend time with. Now things about accountability, they are also thinking about the long run, just like you, and you're not the only one, being in there. So the question about what was the worst breakup? What was the biggest lesson from their worst breakup? Would help you reveal that, and that would really help you understanding your partner even more. Okay, that would really help you in understanding your partner even more and even better for yourself. You understand? So when you do that, you have you are building trust. They open up to you, you're building trust, and you are also knowing that, especially if they own up to their own part of the reason that caused the breakup, then you know that okay, now they also scrutinize themselves, and it's not just scrutinizing the partner and just putting all the blame on their partner. They accepted that they did something wrong, and that is a very good thing. If you have a partner who does something wrong and they can admit it, that's a very powerful thing. But also, I would urge you to not take advantage of someone like that because someone like that could be very vulnerable and sometimes they might take on responsibility for what they did not do. And if you notice, and I've seen people, predate on people like that, they prey on people like that because they know that they will take the blame. And that is not, if you know that you have someone like this, someone that's sincere, if they didn't do anything wrong, and you think, oh, if you blame them for this thing because it will favor you, then you're an evil human being. And yeah, just keep it in mind that karma is always waiting for people like that out of front. So you can't escape. None of us can escape karma. That's why whatever you sow, you reap. Even the Bible says, if you sow into the wind, you would reap whirlwind. Okay. So one big question that you also want to ask is, do you see yourself having kids? This is one question you want to ask your partner. you know, because I've seen it on several occasions. I've seen where a partner, they're dating someone, they've been dating for like a year, only to realize that, you know what, I don't want to have kids. And they're like, but I want to have kids. And they never had this conversation, you know. And it's both of their faults. Or maybe it's the fault, I don't know whose fault this is. But this is a conversation that they should have had prior, you know. Um, so many things are changing now. You know, we have women that don't want to have children. We also have men that don't want to have children. That is kind of that's kind of different for me. But you know, I met this guy once, and he said he doesn't want to have kids, and I was like, oh my goodness, how come? Because it's innate in the human DNA to always pass on our DNA. You know, it's the Charles Darwin. It's all linked into the Charles Darwin law of natural selection. You know, you always want to leave someone that looks like you behind, because it's only a matter of time before you realize, you know what, we are all temporary. None of us is going to be in this world for life. Whether you're a good person or bad person, one of these days, everyone will leave this planet. And it's always, you know, it's innate inside us as human beings, as biological animals, to want to give birth to something that looks like us, you know. So that's why we talk about legacy. That's why we talk about um, you know, seeds. That's why we talk about, you know, giving passing things on. So as you are living, you are making something that looks like you, and you're passing on the mantle. So one of the big questions that you want to ask your partner when you have this big talk is, how many kids do you want to have? Or how many kids do you see yourself having in the future? And sometimes the answer might surprise you, you know, especially if maybe you're having a mind to have like two kids, and then your partner wants to have six children. Now you have to negotiate. Like, okay, like we have four kids. Um, Sometimes most people just want to have just one kid, you know. Some people two. Some people even said something very, very cold. They were like, I'm going to have four kids just in case something happened to one or two of them. And then I'll be left with two. I was like, what's going to happen to one or two of them? But they were just being realistic, you know. Um, I mean, it's good to be realistic too, because no one knows what will happen in the next 1 hour, the next 2 hours, the next one day, the next, you know, no one knows the future. So sometimes the question might surprise you, but always ask this question. This is one of the questions that you want to ask, because when you, whatever answer you get from this question, will give you a picture of what type of future you have with that person, with that partner. And this is whether you are a male or female. Whatever answer you get from this question will give you like an insight into the kind of future that you have with this person. So that's one question that you want to ask. You know, how many kids do you want to have, and or how many kids do you see yourself having in the future? You know, um, another question that you want to ask is, and you want to know all these kind of things. You know, one question you can ask that can save you is, what's your definition of romance? You know, you want to ask your partner that. Sometimes a lot of people don't fall for this BS that, oh, he knows my heart and he knows exactly what's on my mind. No, do not fall for that BS. Always ask, because if you ask, they will tell you exactly what it is. Now, if you're playing the guess game, it's only a matter of time before they start resenting you. When you ask someone, what's your definition of romance? It simply communicates that you want to know because you care. It doesn't communicate that you're dumb, you can't discern. And I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and he was saying something like discernment, like it was like you gotta be able to discern or what someone is thinking inside your head. I'm like, no, I don't read minds. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna get a response. Sometimes when you ask the question, they might not verbally, or maybe that's still discernment, but they might not verbally communicate it, but they can communicate subtly with their eyes, with their body language, with so many things. So it's true, discernment could be a part of it, but for me, I would just stick with asking. I'd say just ask. It's very um it's time saving, it's mind saving. Um it keeps your mind and it keeps it keeps you sane. So for me, I will just ask. I'll just ask. And whatever response I get, I can play around with it. It's always good to be fun, to be playful with your partner. It reduces tension. Always be the type in the relationship that you walk when you're working. That means you get serious when you have to be serious, and then you play when you have to play too. You can't be all playful in the relationship, and you can't be all serious in the relationship. You got to be able to strike the balance between the two, and you got to be able to reduce tension. If you're a man and you say something and your girl is pissed off, um, you got to be able to handle it. You got to be able to tone things down. And if you're a woman and you say something, your man is pissed off, you don't have to keep pouring, you know, gasoline in the fire. You got to be able to, tense things down or back off or whatever you have to do to just, maintain the relationship. It's just wisdom. It's wisdom. It's not rocket science. Um, another question that you would like to ask is, and this is something about you. You might want to ask them what's their. I got something. You want to ask them what's their first sexual experience like, and this could trigger a lot of memories. Remember, you're doing the time travel thing, so you want to ask them what was their first sexual experience. What was the first sexual experience like? Like I said, this could trigger a lot of memory. I don't have no control over this, and neither do you have control over this. A lot of people had, you know, crazy first sexual experience, men, women. Um, it's crazy, man. It's just ridiculous. Thinking about my very first sexual experience, it's ridiculous. I've had this conversation with my brothers. Every single one of us had a ridiculous first sexual experience. Um, Honestly, my first sexual experience was just weird. It was back in my country, Nigeria. So I found myself, I was a virgin and I went to a different state and I just wanted to have sex, but I don't know how to have sex. And I just wanted to have sex. I wanted to just just do it. I've had women make advances to me and I didn't know what to do because I knew I was a novice. So I went to the capital of Nigeria, Abuja. I went to a brothel and yeah, I saw this girl. She looked very beautiful. She looked kind of heavy. She looked kind of but the moment I came in, I just saw and I had interest in her. So she knew. It's just like every typical, woman. Once a woman knows that you have interest in her attitude changes. So her attitude changes because she knew that yeah, I had interest in her. Um, and I don't know how she realized it. She just knew that was my first time because I just was. We got into the room. I didn't know what to do. It was just like she was just fully in control. She was just telling me whatever. She told me the price, everything. At the end of the day, I took off my shirt, but I still didn't do nothing because it was that was like my very first time. I was very young then. Though. I think I was like 16 or 17. So I took off my pants and I don't know. Um, I ended up leaving the room without doing nothing, and then later on, it was just crazy because I had this friend that was always into me back then, and it's just nah. All right, you know what? Let me just go. Let me stick with the topic, okay? Let me stick with the topic. So yeah, you want to ask them what's their first sexual experience because sometimes that could trigger something that could bring a lot of memories, and that could guide you on what to do. You know, that could guide you on what to do. That could teach you so many things about your partner, even though you probably have had sex, you know, with them. That could tell you about any innate sexual fantasy that they have that they would like to practice. It's always good when you have a partner that's open, you know, and they have all the sexual fantasy and they just want to practice all these things. You know, it's always a nice thing. So ask them what was their first sexual experience like. Um Once again, leave a comment below. Double tap please, and also share this video with your friends. That'll be very helpful. So yeah, another question that you can ask is, do you think infidelity is a deal breaker no matter what? Yeah, you want to know what your partner thinks about infidelity. Some people don't see it as wrong, some people see it as wrong. You know, to me, it's all about negotiation. You gotta know who your partner is, you gotta know what your partner is open to try. So right from the beginning, you want to address things like this. You know, for me, I wouldn't tolerate my partner cheating on me. If I notice that my partner, you know, does something like that, I don't I don't want to know what the reason is. I would just it's just over. You know, it's over because, you know, if you can cheat on me, then who knows what else you could do. Yeah, so for me, um but I've met couples that are open to so many things, you know, open to their partner, you know, sleeping with other people as long as they don't bring them into the house. You know, I've seen so many things, you know. I've seen people have their partner bring more people in during sex so they could have like threesome or foursome or whatever. Um, Different people are open to different things. So these are kind of the things that you just want to ask and you want to um, identify. And you also want to make sure you understand your partner. And if it's something you like, you both keep going. And if it's something you do not like, then you guys want to negotiate. Negotiation is always very important. That is why I am always talking about negotiation, networking, communication, because marriage is a negotiation. You know, relationship is a negotiation. You have yourself and you have the other person. You both want something, and you're both involved in this thing. So it's either this person have their way or this person have their way. And you want to make sure both parties always, you know, you both meet each other at the middle. You don't want to have a partner that you're constantly defeating. There's nothing good, you know, that comes out of a defeated partner. So you want to have a partner that you're winning and they're winning. You know, it's not a competition. As you are winning, your partner is winning. And they also understand that as they are winning, you are winning. So relationship is not a competition, it's a complementing thing. It's something that you as you win, you know your partner is also winning. So you just want to keep that in mind and you know, be open to so many things, you know, be open to negotiating so many things. You know, sometimes your wife might want to go do laundry, but you might want to go get groceries and then you're like, well, okay, so how do we do this? You know, sometimes you have your kids in school and you're both working very hard and you're like, who's going to get the kids from school? So you guys could negotiate, you know what, today I'll get the kids from school, tomorrow you get them from school. Or you could say, today I'll get the kids from school, and then you could do the laundry. Every time you're in a relationship with someone, you are constantly negotiating. And you need to understand this. And you also need to understand that you don't want your partner always defeated, because it's just horrible. That's where resentment comes in. That's where hatred comes in, because you don't give them room to win. All right. So you want to always make sure you give your partner um, a fair chance. That way, they love you more, they respect you more, they also believe in themselves, their self esteem is improving. They don't think they are dumb, they don't think you cannot be satisfied, they don't think anything stupid, because you have the wisdom to keep the balance. All right. So, those are the kind of things that you just want to look into. And another question that you can ask. And by the way, like I said, if you have any question, please feel free to type them below. Um, always ask your partner if they have a plan. Always ask them if they have a plan. Always ask them if they have a bucket list. You can also ask them what's their dream vacation. That way you know things, and you get to plan things. Um, and then you also want to ask them. Oh, this is part of things that I spoke about already. Um, so one question you can ask is, do you have a sexual fantasy, or you've never shared? Do you have a sexual fantasy you've never shared with me? You want to ask that? That's gonna be very spicy, because you see your partner come up with crazy stuff, crazy, crazy stuff. Um, and then you want to ask, would you rather have only morning sex for the rest of your life, or strictly sex at night? This question. Yeah. Another thing you want to ask is, how do you define great sex? Very important, because you want to know what your partner thinks about you. You want to make sure your partner is satisfied as much as you are satisfied. You want to make sure your partner is not just faking orgasm to please you, because if your partner is faking orgasm to please you, it's only a matter of time before they become fed up. And you know what happens? They pack things up and they leave. They just bail out, because they're not getting satisfied. And you and you are getting your own stuff, but they're not getting their own stuff. So you want to ask them um if they've ever faked orgasm, if or if it might not be with you, it might be with someone else, but you just want to know things like that, to make sure you are satisfying your partner. you know you can ask so many questions. They're not weird. This is your partner. You got to be able to say anything. You got to be able to talk about anything with your partner. You got to be able to bring anything up, because it's important. If you're holding things back from your partner, it's only a matter of time before things start falling apart. All right. So you want to be able to say so many things on your mind, and of course, be respectful when you do. When you do these things. Um, There's so many questions that you can ask them. One question that I have here also is, do you believe in astrological compatibility? You want to look into things like that. I remember I used to have a girlfriend back then, and she's a very loving woman. Um, I'm a Pisces, and she's also a Pisces. And she'd be like, "Oh no, Pisces are two Pisces are not compatible." And I was like, "I don't believe in all this thing." She'd be like, "No, two Pisces are not." But she believes strongly in this thing. I don't believe in it. Um, like I said, it's only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before everything was over. So you can also look into your partner, and if you understand that they're so much into astrology, then you want to, if you're not, you want to do some research and convince them that astrology is BS. But if you don't think it's BS, then you can just, you know, convince them. Or maybe you just tell them you believe it too. But always keep in mind, always tell the truth. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever lie to your partner. It's dangerous, not even just for your partner, but for you as a person. The moment you start telling lies to your partner, that means you're just going deep down the rabbit hole, and it becomes hard for you to come out of that rabbit hole. So you don't ever lie to your partner. You don't think about it. You always tell them the truth, whether you're a man or you're a woman. I did a video about this. When you tell your partner the truth, even if they don't like you, even if they break up with you, they will still have a lot of respect for you. You know, it's much more important for someone to respect you than to even love you. And I think in that last video, I shared that when a woman tells you she loves you, what she actually means is she respects you as a person. And respect is both ways. But for me, if there's no truth, there can be no respect. So you always want to make sure you tell your partner the truth. When you schedule this time for this conversation, make sure you have it in mind that you are speaking nothing but the truth. Very, very important. hmm Very important. You want to make sure you are always speaking the truth. You're always guiding in the truth. You're always doing everything in the truth, because when you build your relationship, on the truthful foundation, it lasts longer, because none of you are skipping things from the next person. You both share things. You both open up. You both say things. You both help each other heal. You both help each other grow. You both know each other very well, in and out. You know what makes each other tick. You know so many things about each other. So that is the beauty of truth. When you bring truth into your relationship, it fixes so many things. So many things. The truth is a healer. It fixes so many things. But the moment you start lying to your partner, it's so bad that it has no future. There's a saying that lie can take care of the moment, but it has no future. Truth may not take care of the moment, but it has a future. All right, I'll say that again. Lying can take care of the moment, but it has no future. Truth, on the other hand, might not be able to take care of the moment, but it has a future. All right. So never ever lie to your partner. Always tell the truth. Um, Make sure your relationship is founded in the truth. Make sure when you're having this deep conversation with your partner, you have it in mind that you're doing it for the sake of the truth. You're not doing it to manipulate them. You're not doing it to aggravate them. You're not doing it to intimidate them. You're doing it to help bring out the best in your partner. You're doing it to help bring out the best in your relationship. Remember when I said people these days, when they go into a relationship, they forget the fact that you are going into a relationship because you want to take care of the next person. You're not saying, if you want to take care of yourself in the relationship, then don't go into it. All right, don't go into it. Just stay single. But the moment you decide to go into a relationship with someone else, you are making um, it's like you're signing a contract to take care of this person, take care of whatever needs they might have. If it's money, if it's food, if it's companion, if it's children. You are committing yourself to something that's bigger than you. And that's the whole point of relationship. To be truthful, to be engaging, to be compassionate, to be patient, long suffering, everything that the Bible describes love to be kind, to be respectful. Those are the things you go in to do in the relationship. You're not going in there, bringing yourself in just to, yeah, I want you to take care of me. Like, that's selfish. And for me, if you think, oh, you go into a relationship to just take care of yourself, then don't go into it. Just stay single. That way you have enough time to take care of yourself. All right. So those are the questions that I think would really help you dig deep into your relationship and help benefit your partner. You've learned the questions. You've taken the lessons. Um, if you find this video something of value, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell button, right after the subscribe button. That way, whenever I'm on live, whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first person to see the video. And once again, my name is Dapo Ibrahim. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for joining me on this live session. Until next time, I'll be coming live with you guys. Love and respect to every single one of you. Okay, take care. Bye bye.